Hey, how's it going? I'm Dan Fradenburgh, and this is Chess with Investors. Today, I'm joined with my friend Marco. How are you doing today, Marco?
Dan, doing great. Looking
Excellent.
forward to the opportunity to play some chess and
Yeah,
and
I love it. I love it.
hurt
And you know,
hurt your feelings a little bit.
yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. I can tell you, I was on a streak in 2025 with Chess with Investors. I actually didn't lose. Did end up losing one last week in an unreleased video here in 2026. But that's basically my thing. Is if I get on too much of a hot streak, I need to invite somebody on who was born in Europe uh, because that's how I'm going to get smoked before for
I
sure.
see.
But
I see.
the link's in the chat, so we can get this match started. If you can manage to multitask, Marco, do you want to introduce yourself to the audience a little bit?
Yeah. So my name is Marco Pfeiffer. I'm not from Eastern Europe, but pretty close. So I'm from Germany
Oh,
and
okay.
western part, not the eastern part. Back then, when I was born, in the US for on February 18, it's going to be 24 years. I'm
Ah,
in the
so there you go.
US.
Yeah, so sorry
And
about that.
and
It's yeah, it's I guess I got like some sort of cross wires whenever it comes to somebody who's actually serious about chess. I imagine they were trained under the Soviet regime, but
I'm
we've
great with you, Eastern Europeans. Yes,
good stuff. So we'll see that pop up in a
do it
moment.
again.
But you're one of the few people in the real estate space where I've actually met them in person. We ended up catching up in Arizona for Raise Fest. It wasn't last year; it was the year before. And but your background is on single family rather than commercial, I recall. But I'm not sure if you pivoted. So do you want to help me get caught up?
Yeah, actually, I got in and out of commercial. So I started with single family rentals, or a little bit about my story. So I used to be was a corporate warrior, was a CFO for many years. Along the way, discovered real estate, started buying rental properties, which were single family rentals. Along the way, I got into multifamily. I actually started buying my first multifamily was a 12-plex, and then ended up with a business partner acquiring about 150 units across South, no, actually Alabama and Mississippi. And but in 2022, I got totally out of commercial. So I still have a single family portfolio of about 45 rental properties, but I don't at this moment I don't own any commercial multifamily or whatsoever.
I see, I see. And I thought that your thinking a moment ago was to figure out if you're going to do a Grunfeld or a King's Indian, but I see that you decided, nope, not for me. I think I'm still going to do this
Yeah,
one.
I had several ideas in my head. I was debating a few things.
Right, right, right. Of course,
Decided to move over into a Slavic slash Grunfeld mix.
right, right, exactly, exactly. So I think I'll still go ahead and castle. I noticed that you're rated over 2,000 on Lichess. That's quite the achievement. That's good stuff. So who ended up teaching you chess in the first place? Who got you into that originally?
My grandfather. My grandfather, he taught me. I I mean, he didn't know anything. He just knew how to move the pieces. I mean, he was a little bit more than just moving the pieces, but that's kind of what I learned along the way. At one point, I was beating my grandfather, so we had a neighbor who was actually pretty good in chess. So they had me play against the neighbor, and then at one point I beat the neighbor, and the neighbor knew somebody in a chess club, and he's like, this, even though I had no idea about theory, never looked at a chess book or anything like this. So they thought it was a good idea for me to join the chess club, and that's what I did. I was 12 years old when I joined the chess club,
I see, I
and
see.
uh,
Yeah, that's
and
good stuff. My grandfather taught me as well. Your grandfather, did he know en passant?
No.
No, you didn't know en
No.
passant? Yeah, my grandfather knew
No.
en passant, but I know that my first openings I ended up reading from a book instead of from him. But I imagine that the part of Germany where you grew up, it was fairly densely populated. Is that accurate, or was it more in the country?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was in the country.
No, no, no.
Oh,
Yes, it
densely
was
populated.
densely populated.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Yeah, it's my issue that I had is because I grew up in the country. I ran out of
Mm.
opponents really, really quickly. Basically, I think it was because naturally, like my competitive side, I'd want to grind out the end game, even if I was in a more or less worse position. And most people, they don't really want their games to last that long. And so, when I'd want to play again, it just wouldn't happen. But there you have it. So that's the story about how you got into chess. But as far as
Actually,
real estate,
I became really good in chess at one point. So when I was a teenager, I played like state championship, and one time I even played a German championship. Um, Not that it went anywhere, but at least I got to the level where I was playing one of the best in my age group on state level, and even made it to the national level. But then later on, lost interest on chess. Didn't play chess for about 20 years at all. And then I read an article that chess is actually very beneficial against Alzheimer's disease
bingo. Yeah,
because
that
it keeps
neuroplasticity.
your brain, it keeps you exactly keeps active and keeps your mind occupied. And I was like, I should get back into chess, and that's how I end up playing chess again.
Yeah, it's and of course you mentioning all that stuff, it makes me realize that I really have to start using my clock because I seem to have 5 seconds more than I started with. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's an interesting one.
You're in a good position. There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
You're looking good.
yeah, I know.
It went the way that I don't even know why I played it this way, but that's all right.
Well, it's hey, I when it comes to chess, I'm more than willing to accept charity. There's no two ways about that. It's Yeah, I got a little bit lucky yesterday. My opponent ended up blundering a bishop out of nowhere when it was I think I was down a full pawn as far as the engine was concerned. But
Hmm.
yeah, that and of course then it turned into a matter of like, oh no, this is on a podcast. I better convert this or else that's pretty sad if you're up a full
Yeah.
piece. Um, so this is. You know what? Oh, actually, I guess I could do that too. This is a tough one for
You can do
sure.
whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah. It's I know that I've got a lot of different choices here, and I guess that's still covered there. That I could do a revealed attack if you move there, and then I'd lose a pawn. Yeah, I think I will still go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I figured you would do that.
Yeah. Okay. So now we got that. Now I'm perfectly fine with doing that trade. But as far as real estate goes, what got into that? What got you into that? Because I got in from tech, which I don't really recommend. And if you want to come in from marketing, I think it's slightly better than coming from tech, but yeah, I still don't particularly recommend it. How about you? What got you into real
I mean,
estate?
I basically I did it. It was I was unemployed in 2016 in a CFO job. From a CFO job, I realized how much I depend on my W-2 income, and decided to find some way to generate some kind of cash flow. The idea was to generate $3,000, $4,000 in cash flow, and if I ever get unemployed again, I I at least have that income to to have that peace of mind. And
Yeah.
that's how I got into it. And then I bought one property, two properties, then I achieved that $3,000 in cash flow, and what I call the snowball effect kicked in, and I kept buying properties, and I did the good old burst strategy. So I bought, renovated, rented it, and refinanced it and repeat. And that's how I ended up with all these properties. And like I said, at one point I got into commercial, bought a 12-plex,
Hmm.
and
I see. I
now,
see. Okay, so that's I still don't see anything big that you can do that way, so I will still continue as planned. But one thing that I found you've also been quite successful at, as far as pure metrics. I don't know the background, but is social media, building a great big following. You know, it's on LinkedIn. You've been really successful with that, I've found. And
yes.
it's takes so much time to pull that off. Um,
Mm.
let's see. So if I, yeah, I should do that first. So as far as social media goes, you know, you've put in tons of time and effort, and I find that a lot of your content it tends to be a little bit controversial, edgy. You don't hold back particularly, I'd say. Is that something that
No, I mean that's the beauty of being um, financially free. I don't really have to worry about an HR department. I don't have to worry about investors not liking what I say or anybody else. So I'm pretty, pretty free to post what I want. I have some pretty strong feelings when it comes to capitalism,
hmm
socialism, taxes,
hmm
and investments. And I think that's kind of the I don't know, seek is not the right word. It's kind of like the recipe for me. It's not I think it has to be authentic, because I think a lot of people, they struggle on social media to build the following, because it's not a thing. They post what they think what people want to hear. They post what they feel is politically correct. They don't want to offend anybody or whatsoever, while I don't care too much. And I think that's what people somewhat appreciate about me. Um,
Yeah,
and I,
I think that's a fair assessment, especially with you know, so many people opting to use AI for their content
yeah,
creation. You know, like that's a real tough one to get around, and I think people. I've actually been quite surprised to see how quickly the backlash around AI has kicked in, because you know, like maybe people didn't know that ghostwriters were a thing. Um, yeah, I think that's my move. So well, it's basically nothing new, especially with people who I'd say are on the more successful or you know, side of the spectrum, people with a bigger team. And I absolutely agree that trying to be too vanilla, it just means you're going to be ignored like everybody else. So it's I admire that. And the other thing too is it seems like your audience seems to be a good one too. And I'm saying that in comparison to, I don't mind throwing a little bit of shade in this direction. Back in 2020, I ended up doing a 1 month training whatever with a woman who at the time she had 1.5 million followers on LinkedIn,
cool.
which yeah,
Hmm.
that's a bonkers number. And just I'm not up on the current numbers over here in Canada as far as follower counts of the major banks, but I remember just for reference, I was going like, okay, well, what company ought to have a whole bunch of followers? Canada's biggest bank, it actually, at the time, it had about 700,000 followers, and like the others were like 600,000 or 500,000. And of course, like that might be a little bit of a ridiculous thing to say, seeing as though, oh, actually, I got that too, don't I? Yeah. I was saying it seems like a little bit of a ridiculous thing to say that going off of these different banks, but Canada doesn't have as many banks as America does,
Right.
it was pretty wild. I think yeah, this is a really good time to take my time. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. It's getting a little bit tricky.
yeah, yeah. So my main thing was just to find out how she did it. Like, how do you get 1.5 million followers on LinkedIn, especially because LinkedIn, as far as social media platforms goes, they've always been really protective of their data and like they would give people a timeout for looking at too many profiles. There were lots of
Mhm.
different things like that, so I wanted to know how, but it became a little bit more obvious when she got into the live streaming part of the LinkedIn lives, because when she did that, um, I found out, it was filled with thirsty Indians, I'd say. It's like, oh, baby, you're so beautiful, blah, 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 blah. And that's what I call an audience that's not useful.
Yes, I
It's,
agree.
yeah, that's,
I mean, yeah, LinkedIn is tricky. I mean, actually, a lot of people are surprised. I mean, I don't get any traction. Not that I try too hard, but I don't get any traction on like Facebook or Instagram or any of these. At one point, I was taking some of my posts from LinkedIn and I just post them on Instagram or Facebook and never got any traction with it.
hmm,
I guess it's kind of the audience. I guess one platform eventually is X. I could try, but I find X a little bit um, hostile at times.
hmm,
Um,
hmm. Yeah,
with,
maybe a bit bombastic, I
I mean,
guess.
not hostile is not the wrong word, but people have very strong opinion, very strong opinions,
Right.
and so yeah, even though I like the platform, I'm not very active there.
Yeah, I've tried a couple times to be active on X, Twitter, but it just never really came to pass. It's a funny story. I remember, yeah, this was also around 2020-ish or something like that. I did try to make the jump into Twitter, and I was going like, okay, well, things are pretty sensitive these days, so I won't. Like, I won't try and be associated with anybody that could, backfire or whatever. So I followed Grant Imahara from MythBusters, and
Mhm.
he promptly passed away. And I also followed J.K. Rowling, and she promptly got in trouble for basically being anti-trans. And so,
Yeah.
so if you have anybody you really don't like, just let me know and I can follow them on Twitter. It can't fail, right? It's
Got
absolutely
got a solid track record. Quite impressed.
right, exactly. Oh man. So, but yeah, this is a really intense match we're having so far.
Yeah.
So that's still covered. That's still covered. Yeah, you probably saw it. My plan was to swing that same night over to what's that, C5, to fork your bishop
Mhm.
and your queen. But
Good plan. Good plan. You still
yeah,
can do it.
yeah, but it's not an exciting move anymore. The love is gone. The love is gone. But yeah, I need to figure out something. Oh, I guess it has to start. Oh, well, if I do that, then I have to do that. Whew. Yeah, this is a really intense one for sure. That's still covered that way. Wow, I can't believe that's the move. I think this is the move. Yikes. That's really scary. So there you go. But so one of the things, and like I know that this might be construed as throwing shade at your audience, and I'm not at all. One thing that concerned me about being more controversial is when it attracts what I call the tinfoil hat crowd. And I don't think I'd categorize your audience as that, but I think it's one of the risks that you run when you're, being overly political. You might have a few too many people that are saying that.
I don't find, I mean, I make political related, but I don't consider myself as making many political. I actually stay away from posts about political in general. I mean, more occasionally I post something about corrupt politicians or something, but I'm not, um, I mean, obviously I'm a libertarian, so that's where I'm leaning, um, but yeah, I don't feel like I, sorry, I'm stuttering here because it's getting intense. So I was
It
I'm
really is. It really is. It's yeah, that's exactly it. I completely agree.
so I
It's really scary for sure. This because we haven't been giving up much of anything, still even material.
yeah.
So, but that's the other thing too about my own social media. If people want to know the secret sauce, like I know that we've been connected for a while. One of the things is that there's like in order to get into real estate deals, I have to get some sort of alliance or partner with the deal sponsor themselves. And because of that, often it doesn't make sense for me to be really highlighting my own anything for that matter. Um, so that one, so I can trade. That leaves that there. It's still pretty tied up, but at least it gets rid of that, and I don't think you have any combos on it. Whew.
But here's the other part about conspiracy theories. There's actually quite a few who turned out to be more than conspiracy and more than theory. So it's
Yeah.
not all. I think it's easy. I think people fall into that. It's conspiracy theory, but I here's a conspiracy theory. Where you know that the term conspiracy theory didn't really show up anywhere in the news or in the media until the early 1960s.
Huh.
If you read news articles or whatsoever, you will barely find that term conspiracy theory.
Huh. That's
So the
interesting.
conspiracy theory is that that term was invented by the FBI and the CIA to discredit anybody who's disclosing any government information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the conspiracy theory about the word conspiracy theory.
Yeah, yeah, that's an
But
interesting
it's
piece of trivia. Yeah, I
but
didn't.
the fact is it really, if you look for that term anywhere prior to the early 1960s, you won't find it. Well, I'm not saying you'll find, but it's very rarely used.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whew. So,
I don't want to distract you, but it's getting complicated.
yeah, exactly. What's going through my head here is that I don't want to trade queens right where it is. And I got another idea here, but like it kind of gives up a fork, but it should be all right. Yeah, I think I'm still gonna do it anyway. And I've caught my stylus in my pocket here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I don't think it's the best move
No, it's not.
because it allows that fork of my rook and bishop.
No, but it's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something else.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then oh yeah, but then I can move that one over to take, but that reveals the attack right there. So the bishop's gonna get smoked. Yeah, so Yeah, but actually, you know what? I think, yeah, I think I am gonna. Oh, this is tough. So there, I run into the fork.
Actually,
There.
there's only one move for you to do right now, believe it or not. Not one move, but there's one move that makes the most sense.
Well, so I'm actually leaning towards taking with my knight just because, like, even though it means that my rooks won't be connected anymore.
Yeah.
Because I think that if I put my rooks next to each other, I'm kind of asking for trouble, especially when the knight winds up
No, it's not
taking
only
the pawn
that.
with
There's
me.
more. Not only that. There's more to come. Anyways, do what you
Yeah,
want to do.
yeah, I see. There's a lot of nastiness going on in here. Um, and I also have to be a little bit concerned about time usage as well. All right, you convinced me. Fine, we'll do that one. Was that the one
I
move
didn't
the
want to talk you into anything. I thought taking with a knight was the best move. It
Yeah,
was the
okay.
best move. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I take this pawn
yeah.
because now your knight is hanging.
Right, but that's covered twice. So that should be all right. Yeah, this is a really good one. I'm glad we made the time to make this happen. So wow, yuck. Okay, so I guess I have. Oh, yeah, I don't have to worry about that because that's covered. That's definitely not covered. Wow, I'm like way more tied up than I gave myself credit.
Yeah,
Um,
you kind of it's you were actually I think you were in a better we can see what the computer says, but I feel like you were in a better position. Now I
yeah,
like my position better, to be honest.
yeah. Now I like your position better too. And it's funny because it's that bishop that seemed like it was going to be useless forever. It's now becoming a little bit of a hero, I think.
Our house.
Yeah, because it's covering that pawn on b7 as well. So
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So
Actually, I was making fun of it, but if you should play knight c5, even though after I moved to yeah, like you do now,
yeah.
it would have been better then.
Ah, crap. Yeah, I didn't bother calculating that, did I? Um,
Now you lost a piece.
yeah, that's bad. Ay, ay, ay.
Actually, more than a
Now,
piece.
yeah, yeah.
Now it's all crashing.
Yeah, it's all crashing down, but I like to keep these episodes fairly short, so that works. I'll go ahead and resign right there because that fork you got my rook. I'm sure. So LinkedIn is the spot where you spend most of your online time,
Yes.
just like me. Is that the best way to reach out to you there,
Yeah, yeah. Market
Marco?
Pfeiffer, LinkedIn, reach out. More than happy. Follow me. Um, Always love to talk about real estate. Love to talk about investing. Great game, Dan. I think you were better if you played that knight c5. When we were talking about it, like, oh, I'm not going to do it anymore. I think you would have been in a substantially better position.
It's, well,
And
we'll definitely we can also do an analysis and all that. I'd like to invite you if you're interested. I've got a spin-off show. I've only recorded one episode of it so far. It's Chess with Investors Geek Out, and the idea is it's more focusing on the improving at chess aspect than the investment side. And so we go through all the different technology, including the stockfish numbers here, and just basically that way people in the audience can see it. Now I see, according to Lichess, I had an 81% accuracy. You had a 91% accuracy, 26 average cent upon loss. It looks like I was winning until move 20. Move 20 when I threatened your queen. That's where it went down to even, and then
yep,
yeah,
yep,
the
yep,
the
yep,
big dip. The big dip was when I threatened your queen with my knight, apparently, but it just went
yep, yeah.
completely.
No, that was not a good move.
You're
When you
right.
let me out there, that was when the game changed. But you were definitely better. I handled the opening all terribly played opening on my side, but well played on your side. Yeah, you were. I mean, I felt like you were definitely ahead. We can do that analysis. More than happy. Feel pretty strong. If you had played knight c5, I don't remember what you played when I moved the
Right.
queen to f5. If you had played knight c5, I think it would have been a
Yeah,
really, really
yeah,
good position
yeah.
for you.
It's yeah. I don't rook c2. Yeah, nah, yeah. It's yeah. When I did do the knight c5, that was still an inaccuracy about this. But we'll get deeper
No,
into
no.
the
I mean,
weeds.
if you had played it when I played queen f5, if you had played knight c5 instead, I don't know what the computer says, but look at what the computer says after me playing queen f5.
Okay, I got queen f4. Where's queen f5? Queen. Yeah, no, that's yeah. I think you mean f4, don't you?
No, I played to f5.
F5. Queen f5. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. And it says yeah, the best. It says I was supposed to do a4.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess that's to stop
I would
your
have
knight
thought
from
knight c5. I would have thought
right
knight
to go into
c5 would have been the move.
b4, I guess is what it blocks. But there you go. Right on. So hopefully we'll make that happen. One public service announcement to you. If you've been watching this episode of Chess with Investors and experiencing searing pains in your eyeballs and migraine-like symptoms, it's probably because of the hideous subscribe button that you neglected to hit, which is an honest mistake. You should know it's completely free. All it means is that my videos might show up on your list of suggestions, and those deadbeats at YouTube might actually start paying for these videos instead of me, which I think would be absolutely fantastic. But you don't even have to watch those other suggestions. I just appreciate the fact you spent this time with me. Just like my friend Marco. Thanks for joining, man.
Thanks, Dan.
Sweet.
I truly enjoyed it.
Awesome. There Oh, hey there. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you are into chess, if you play chess and you're an investor of some sort, real estate or otherwise, well, you can be on the show too. I know, right? All you have to do is connect with me on LinkedIn. My name's Dan Fradenburgh, so I'm super duper easy to find on LinkedIn where I spend most of my social media time. But if you're one of those people who just don't play chess, it's don't pay attention to him. I don't judge. All you have to do is go to dandoesdeals.com and you'll find the Chance Encounter series where you're welcome to be a guest on it, where you can share your core competencies that you're likely to contribute to a GP team or a JV. You don't have to be doing syndications. And we'll talk about your buy box and stuff like that. It's easy peasy. It's like 15 minutes long to record, and there are no real fastball questions. Just tell the truth, and everybody will be fine. And if that's not really your thing, dandoesdeals.com. It also has the way to meet more, join more people, add more people to your investor list, your different deal sponsor operators and KPs and passive investors, all that kind of stuff. I'm probably repeating myself, but I'll give you the rest of your day. I appreciate you watching Chess with Investors. See you next time. Bye.
My background has been in alternative investments for the past 20 years. I've seen just about every type of fund, worked on the accounting and operations side, and even at some of these big banks that I worked for, worked on a lot of projects behind the scenes to really hone my craft and, create Cardinal Financial Consulting and help people set up the right structures, handle the accounting and operations behind the scenes, and really take that away from the CEO's responsibility to make their lives streamlined. Sorry.